We're taking a trip back in time today to the era of the mountain men, the fur trappers who were larger than life. Let's visit the Museum of the Fur Trade in Chadron, Nebraska. I'm Jeff. This is Backroads Tourist. As a young boy, my dad took me to see Jeremiah Johnson at our neighborhood movie theater, and from then on, I've had an interest in these legendary men who helped shape the West. That's why I knew that I had to visit the Museum of the Fur Trade in Chadron. This museum brings to life the history, legends, and lore of the fur trappers and the fur industry that opened up the West in the early years of this country. You need to remember that before the settlers and before the gold rush, it was the fur trappers in search of beaver who explored the West. As I walk through the exhibits, I remember the names and stories of many of the mountain men I've read about over the years. Names like Jim Bridger, who could tell a tall tale like no other. Hugh Glass, who was attacked by a grizzly bear, left for dead, and then crawled and stumbled 200 miles to safety. Kit Carson, who started trapping at 19 and later became famous in dime novels as sort of the poster boy for the Wild Wild West. And you can't forget John Liver-Eaton Johnson, whose story inspired the movie that inspired me, Jeremiah Johnson. The museum gives you a great background of the history of the fur trade in North America and covers involvement of the indigenous people as well as free trappers and the fur trading companies. The museum was also consulted by the producers of The Revenant when they were making the movie. They wanted everything to be as accurate as possible in that movie that depicted Hugh Glass being attacked by the grizzly. In fact, the museum has some of the costumes used in the movie on display. Hey, if you're a fan of history or unique places like this, I sure would appreciate it if you'd subscribe to the Backroads Tourist channel. I love traveling around to quirky places and then sharing them with you. I also put out videos each week on cruising, if that's something that appeals to you too. I'd also like to ask you to please give this video a thumbs up to help get it recommended to others. Again, I'd certainly appreciate it. Another section of the museum houses a large collection of guns, ammunition, and powder horns that were used in that time period. Included in that collection are guns owned by Kit Carson and Chief Red Cloud. The Museum of the Fur Trade is built near the site of the Bordeaux Trading Post, which operated in this area in the mid-1800s. And if you go out the back door of the museum, you're going to find a back lot filled with historical items, including a replica of the trading post. And once you're done exploring the backyard, you come back in through the gift shop where you're going to find a lot of very unique items on sale. They also have an incredible selection of books on the fur trade, mountain men, and history of the Old West. If this period of history intrigues you, then this is definitely a museum that you have to visit. Thanks for watching today. I'm Jeff, and I'll see you on the back roads.